Hey everyone, glad to see you back at your easel or painting table. Today we are going to glaze a sunflower. And you're not going to believe this, that this is my third attempt to do a voiceover. The first time, it broke up so much you couldn't even hear a full word. Like if I tried to say paint, it said, and then it would break up. The second time, I got all the way through to the end, a very awkward ending, I might add, and realized I never turned on the record button. Yay. So, what I did is I was hanging out over on the Art Surface channel, and she did this fabulous apple painting in, I believe you pronounce it Versailles, using black and whites to make grays and doing the base of the painting in the grays. And then went back over this apple with this glazing medium mixed with her paint. And it's gorgeous. So of course I did the apple with her to see how this stuff works. And as usual, I had too much paint on my palette, so I had some paint left over. And I tried to do a rose, which turned out fabulous. I love how my rose turned out. So I decided today I want to do a sunflower. So I went online, looked up a picture of a sunflower, drew it out on my paper, and I'm taking my black with a smidgen of white just to tone it down a tiny bit to make it almost like a really dark charcoal gray. And I'm using the detail brush to paint around my my petals. And right there I was looking for any part where the background might have poked through that it wasn't petals. And now I've gotten my bigger brush and painting in the rest of the background. And of course, you know, even with your water or your flow mediums or anything like that, there's always some white of the canvas poking through. So when you get finished and it dries, you know, take a look at it and just touch up the white spots. Don't get frustrated. It could be the tools, could be the paint. Not all my paints are professional paints yet. I've been upgrading as I'm starting to run out of my paints. The black and the white both that I'm using here are student grade paint. You know, like $3 a tube from the craft store. Only a couple of my colors that I'm actually going to use in this flower are the professional paints, because I'm not going to throw them away. I'm going to use them up until it's time to replace them, and I'm going to replace them with, you know, Goldens or Liquitex. And Goldens tubes, I will say, are very hard to open after you've opened them the first time. They are a bear. You got to wipe around the rim back half each time, or you'll need you know, like Paul Bunyan or King Kong or somebody to come open your tube for you, maybe even Hulk or Superman. So when you paint in your flower, you're going to make like a medium color gray and fill in the whole flower. And pay attention to your brush stroke, because you want to be able to tell which flower petal is which. Hindsight, after already doing this painting, I probably would go with a lighter color gray than what you see on your screen right here. You know, I just think it would help your other colors pop a lot more if it was lighter. And you can see there I got a little bit lighter, but not that much. I'd go lighter than that. Paint them all in, all the way around. I'm going to go off camera here and paint some in, because, you know, there's no sense in you watching me paint every single petal. Shorten the video up just a tad. And when I come back, we'll do the middle of the flower. Okay, so the petals are all painted in and the stem is painted in. You can see where I got really dark on the stem there. Don't do that. So I'm doing the center and I am painting it in a circle because it's a circle and it does have dimension. So, and your brush strokes do matter because when you look at it, you'll be able to, if you went like completely horizontal painting that, and you'd be able to tell, hey, this is flat, what's going on? Crisping up my edges to make sure that I don't have that pure white from the canvas poking through. Now I'm going around with a lighter shade of gray and defining my petals. These are going to be like my highlight areas when I add my color. And I'm going to do this several times. You'll be like, this lady's crazy. I just keep going around and around and around and lightening it each time and just adding more to it. Trying to make sure I'm picking up the petals where they overlap the other. So I'm sitting here in Florida where it's chilly. For some of you guys are probably, you'd laugh because it's, you know, in the 50s, but it's raining and that makes it even worse. And it's gloomy, the sun is not shining. Yesterday was colder than today is, and the sun was out, and it was just beautiful out. Not that I wanted to go out in the cold, but it was inviting to go outside. Today it's just yucky gloom. Lightening up my stem because, like I said, I did that a little darker than it should have been. Adding shadow under that petal that overlaps the stem. Adding some more. And I'm putting some like lines kind of in there so that I know where I'm going with my colors, because if you look at a sunflower, it starts out brown and it goes toward a yellowish brown and then ends up like green in the very center of it. Adding some more. Now when I start to do the center of the flower, I'm going to switch back to my brown. Make sure your paint brushes are nice and firm. Some of mine are, some of them aren't. And my browns are not firm enough for this. And what happens is that paint gets all the way up, all through the bristles of your brush, and it just gets all goofy and yucky to work with. But you're going to do kind of like a one-stroke thing here. You're going to take your detail brush, and you're going to have a couple of different shades of gray. You're going to have a darker gray and a lighter gray, and maybe a medium gray, and just different colors of gray. You're going to dip half your brush in a dark and half in a light. And then you're going to dab little dots. And you're already going to have two colors there. And this is going to save you from going all through the whole center of this with the dark gray, and then coming back through the whole center of this with the light gray, and then coming back to the whole center of this with a lighter gray, and trying not to cover up the colors that you put down previously. You're getting it done basically on the first time around, and you might have to go back in and touch a few areas. Oh, maybe this area needs to be a little lighter, or this area needs to be a little darker, which I do. But this will make it go so much faster because this takes the longest time of the entire painting is filling in the center of this flower with all these hundreds and hundreds of little dots. But it's going to seriously help the dimension of the flower. Don't have to press hard, you just touch the tip of the flower. See, I'm still working, still going around, still dabbing. But you can see in the left there where I first started, where you have the dark and it has the light, how it looks like it's just popping right out of the picture. That's what you want. As I'm doing this, I kind of lose that effect because my brush is getting so gloppy, and I have to keep cleaning it and wiping the paint off. That's why I'm going to have to come back through again and add more dots. And the harder you press, the bigger the dot. The lighter you press, the smaller they are. Keep going until you get it filled in. Yeah, this one is an interesting painting for me because one of my, not really a complaint, but a complaint about acrylics is sometimes the colors are just so bright. And I question, how do you tone it down? Well, doing glazing is definitely one way to tone it down. And it's funny because what do I do in this painting? Is I keep adding layer upon layer, upon layer, upon layer to brighten it up. It's just, I find that kind of funny. But you could stop at this point once you just have all your gray tones in, and it really is very pretty. See all the dimension that center has right now? You could stop here and call it done. There we go. Adding some more light grays. Definitely more to the whiter side. Now here's my palette. See how much paint I have? You don't need that much. I wasted paint. That is supposed to be the Liquitex Professional Glazing Medium, but my camera absolutely would not focus, and I cannot wait till my new camera arrives that I ordered from Amazon that is taking forever to get here. It must be on the slowest of slowest boats from China. So now I am using my yellow ochre, just a tiny bit, mixed with a tiny bit. And when I put the glazing medium, and when I put the glazing medium on my palette, I did like a drop. And then I'd add more as I needed it so I don't waste it, because it is a little pricey. That little bottle's like $7. And you don't need a lot, so there's no sense in wasting it. So I'm going to use the yellow ochre, and I'm going around the bottom to the middle portion of the flower with the yellow ochre and glazing medium mix. And the object of the glazing medium is it makes it translucent. And you know, these paints are translucent as they are, some of them. But this gives like a really cool effect. And now I'm going to go with the Cad Yellow medium. And again, this one is one of my leftover student paints. The yellow ochre was a golden paint, but this one's just like Liquitex Basics, I believe, yes. And I do have some. I did buy some of the Liquitex Professional brand, Artist Quality, But because I'm not finished with this tube, I haven't broken into it yet, so I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to go all the way around with the yellow. And after you do this, with just the yellow ochre and the yellow on it, it looks so pretty. You could stop here. You don't have to go on and add more color. I might do it over again and stop at that because it looks awesome. But I kept going. I like to play with the paint. My mother must have given me finger paints as a child. I don't know. But I really do like playing with paint and seeing what I can do with it. And don't worry about getting sloppy, because I've gone outside the lines. It's with my gloppy brush here. It's very difficult to stay inside the lines. All I did to fix that was, when I was finished with my glazing, I went back through with that really dark gray color and redefined my lines around the flower petals, just to clean it up. So don't worry about going outside the lines, especially if you have gloppy equipment like I have. This is the burnt sienna, of course, mixed with the glazing solution, going around the outer edge, or the outer portion, not just the edge, of the center. And again, pay attention to your brush stroke, because you wouldn't go all horizontal or vertical because it's around center, so you kind of gotta take your brush in there, go in the right direction. You see, I'm trying to correct where I just did what I said don't do. That there is a little of the Cad Yellow mixed with my burnt sienna to lighten and brighten, and of course mixed with the glazing medium. And this is the sap green. I don't usually like tube greens because they look fake. The sap green's pretty nice. I like it. So I might have a new favorite green instead of mixing my own with yellows and blues, or blacks and yellows and what have you. Now I'm going back through and adding more burnt sienna, and let your layers dry. I didn't let mine dry, so I've got that kind of crisp line there. But you got to let it dry. And this is more of the burnt sienna with the Cad Yellow, but more on the yellow side to brighten it. That is the Cad Red medium. Again, that is one that I'm still using up my student grade. I have purchased a artist quality, professional, whatever you want to call it, grade, but I won't break into them till I use up my other stuff because I don't want to waste. The Cad Red medium is kind of an orangey color. You know, it's red, but it's an orangey shade of red. So when it goes over top of where you put some of your Cad Yellow, it really gets orangey looking. I'm just going all the way around. I'm hitting every petal. Front petals, back petals, left petals, right petals. I'm hitting them all. More yellow. That's what I mean. I just had to keep adding layers and layers. I think though, I said I will do this one again, but instead of using black, I'm going to use burnt umber, and to get the different tones underneath my color. But I think the brown background will look really awesome with the sunflower because it does have the orangey browns in it. Now I'm taking the burnt sienna and going right around the edges where the petals meet the center of the flower. And I wish I knew the technical term. It's a pollen center, but I don't know the technical term. Just to make them look connected, like they're not just hanging out in midair next to it. Now the stem is the sap green mixed with the glazing medium. I'm going to add a little yellow to it, brighten it up for your highlight side. Go and add a little bit to the center, make that pop out a little more. Back with more yellow, I'm not sure. Yep. Had to do it. So, we're getting towards the end here. I think it turned out well. Like I said, I'm going to try it again. Do another sunflower, but I'm going to do it with the burnt umber instead of using black. And fingers crossed, this is my third try at the voiceover for this book. You know what they say, third time's a charm, so I'm hoping. And now it's time for the really awkward Dorothy goodbye. I always have problems with this. I invite you to come back and view more videos on my channel. I invite you to share it with your friends if you liked it. Maybe they'll like it too. And, you know, give it a thumbs up. Share. Paint. It's fun. Video, record yourself painting. Watch yourself painting it. It's fun to watch yourself. You know, even though I've had to record this 3 times, I'm learning from myself by watching myself paint, and it is interesting to see myself paint. I'm darkening it up some more. Go figure.